Morning ladies, it is Megan and I am here today to show you exactly what I do on my face every day. So here I am. I've already washed with my Illuminate Clean. This is for normal to dry skin. Love it. A little bit goes a long way. Tiny amount. And then I've also used my rose water spray, spritzed it around as a toner. At nighttime when I wash my face, I also do my Uplift Eye Serum on my eyes, on my nice little forehead wrinkles, and also on my lips. My lips get super dry in the winter, and so I love using Uplift for that. It's also a great eye makeup remover. And then Brilliant has since gone away, and Divine is its new counterpart. But with the Brilliant, you would take your little spatula and take one little pearl powder ball and emulsify that in your hands, and that's what you would do. So this is my fresh face. I always start out with my Glorious Face and Eye Primer. Tiny amount goes a little bit goes a long way. So I kind of just dab it, and then you want to use your light-handed fingers like that. You don't want to press too hard, especially around your eyes. You want to be very gentle. So I kind of just go all over. And this is going to give you a really silky application. It is going to fill in any impurities. And I always tell people it's kind of like a pothole filler. It's going to give a smoother application for everything. And then I use cream foundation on a normal basis. I am like on skin and bones of mine, as you can see. But I use my foundation brush from Younique as well. And in a downward motion, I start under my eyes. And I am going to lightly go over my face with my cream foundation. And you want to go in a downward motion because you don't want to get the makeup in your pores. That's where you're going to get a bunch of blackheads. That's where you're going to start to have breakouts. So when you go upward, that's getting all that makeup into your pores. So I kind of go all over. And this is taffeta that I am using. Obviously, I bought this in the summer, so I was a little bit tanner those days, but I just ordered myself the one that I use in the pressed powder, and that's velour. So that will be my winter color of choice because I do a lot of contouring with my darker concealer under my cheekbones and around my temples and on the sides of my nose. So I go a little bit darker with that, so it's almost like a little bit of a bronzer for me. So I don't need to be super dark with my foundation and my powder. So this is kind of just like a lightweight, breathable foundation. So it just kind of smooths everything out for me. I have a few trouble spots that tend to be the worst for me. Right in here, and right down here, and then sometimes right over here. And then obviously my genetic under eye bags. So that's not fun for anyone. So that is where I do an extra coat with my BB cream. So I kind of only use this in the areas where I need some extra coverage. So I do the cream foundation and the BB cream over it for added coverage. And this is bisque. I put a little bit on my hand and I use that same foundation brush that I was using. And I go right under my eyes and kind of make a triangle in that right above that cheekbone. So I kind of just dab that up, down along where it sits on the cheekbone, and then I get really red down in those little creases right there, so I kind of just drag it down in there. So we go under those nice little under eye bags that I have, thanks to my parents. Thank you. Luckily my Uplift Eye Serum has been helping with those bad boys. And then I pull it over my eyelids as well. And this has a natural SPF in it. The BB cream is like a tinted moisturizer. So if you have drier skin in the winter, this is going to be perfect for you. And so I take it up over my brows where I tend to get some other breakouts as well, and then a little bit on my forehead. Because with highlighting and contouring, you want the lighter pieces to be where the sun would hit first. So like you would want it on your forehead, you would want it on the bridge of your nose, under your eyes. Obviously, if you have something setting up higher, there's going to be a shadow cast below it. So like my darker pieces are going to go down in here because you want to accentuate the cheekbones. So you'll see me do that when I get there. Okay. And then down here I usually have some trouble spots as well. So I just cover those up. This is going to help just banish them away. No one needs to know. And then I also like to go over my lips. It's almost like a little bit of a primer for when I put my gloss on. And my lip liner. Love my lip liner. So that is basically what I do first. It seems like a lot, but I am just talking to you guys, so obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. Using Fresh, my loose powder concealer in the lightest shade, I just go back over my trouble areas to help set those in. And I am using my blush brush from Younique. It's an angled blusher. I love it for my contouring. With that angle, you really get that nice curve. So I kind of just tap a little bit out and tap it right over top of those troubled areas, and that is it. Very easy for me to use my my powder concealer. And then pressed powder, I have a light color in velour, and then I also have a darker color in satin. I use the satin for down where it would be a little bit darker and more shadowed, and I use my light color to kind of set my makeup all over. And yes, I know I sound like a man today, but I am a little under the weather, but I'm still gonna look fabulous. So, and I kind of just go in circular motions just to kind of set everything. My skin is typically like a combination, not too light, or not too oily, not too dry. Sometimes in the winter I have certain areas of my face that will get really dry, but with my combination I've yet to experience any dryness. So now I'm taking my darker color, and I like to suck in so that I can actually see where that shadow would be. So you make like a fishy face or a duck face, and then I go up into the temples and on the sides, up on the top of the forehead, down and around. Sometimes I just kind of blend it all over. So there's that. And then this is where I do most of my contouring work with Foxy. I like to use Foxy. It's the second to darkest of our powder concealers, as you can see. And I just, it's loose powder and there's those little holes. So I just use a little bit in the top and just kind of dab it. And right under that cheekbone is where you want to contour. So I kind of just go in a circular motion there. And then just kind of drag it up right into those temples right there. And then I look so goofy doing this. I prefer to do my highlighting and contouring this way just because I don't like using BB cream all over my face. It's a little bit too heavy for me. I like to stick with the pressed powder and and the cream foundation together, and I feel like I get a little bit more control by doing it this way, but it just depends on your skin type, honestly. And then I also have my little concealer brush that I will take some of the darker color on the side of my nose to kind of thin out my nose. See the difference between the two sides? So I will go in starting at the eyebrow down. And it's nothing drastic, but I mean, just kind of reshapes your nose a little bit, cheaper than a nose job. Alright, so that is how I do my highlighting and contouring. I love to mix up my blushes. On a typical day, I do my sweet blusher, but lately I've been super in love with Stunning. It is, you can see that that is a super bright pink, and normally I'll just tap some onto my countertop in my bathroom.